and this unit is driven by our 9011 power amps, and we have for each half of this one power amp in order to have the full sonic extension which this system can be delivered.
I auditioned a pair of these amplifiers in 2011, and they have the best control in the bass of any amplifier I've ever heard.
You can also adjust the control of the bass. We have on the rear side, we have 3 power switches, and with these 3 power switches you can adjust the individual power transformers, and if you have a neutral room you can start with 2 switches. If you have a little bit more damped room or a little bit weak main supply, you better switch in all 3 power modules. You have more control, but if your room itself is a little bit bright or nervous, then maybe it's better to have only 2 or 1 switch on. So you can also adjust the sound of this amplifier to your room and to your taste.
I looked at it as it's almost like a booster rocket from a NASA space shot, that you have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3.
Maybe, yeah.
We were talking about how much a system weighs, and it's almost 500 pounds.
Each of the columns, yeah. So in total we have 2,000 pounds unpacked. So with packing you get even much more than this, yeah.
Well, tell us about the electronics. What I've seen and had in my system, the preamplifier.
Yeah, the preamplifier is in the meantime really a classic product. This does control the input and adjust the level. We have 2 different output groups that you can switch on off individually, and also can adjust the level to each other, and we can also adjust the level of each input you have, so you can adjust everything to match to your home. The most difficult thing for preamplifiers to have control of the signal, so everything what you heard with the speakers and what's going to this power amp have to be controlled here. So the choose of the right materials, the right parts is very, very important. We have very long listening sessions, this capacitor against that, choose the right one, and it's very, very tricky and very important to choose the correct high quality parts in it to achieve the final sound. So also the power supply is very important, that we have a very stable power supply which has also a good separation to the mains, that is nearly driven as from accumulator. So with these points you get a very rich sound which has a good bottom end, also an extended but also very soft upper end.
Upper end, it's beautiful. And the DAC, now the DAC I currently have on the review, and it is the most sublime and the most beautiful digital sound I've had in my system.
Oh, thank you.
I think it may be one of your best achievements.
We have put in also some tricks. So for example, for DA converter techniques, there are ladder type converters, and there are delta sigma converters. Ladder type are good for louder signal to get a good control, but for soft signals they're getting a little bit grainy, and the delta sigma technique is very soft and has a good sound stage with low level signal, but when it's getting loud you lose a little bit control. So we, in this DA converter, both techniques are built in and they cross over at the medium-high level. So with low levels you hear this delta sigma technique, and with higher levels you hear this multi-bit ladder type technique. So you get the best of both worlds from this DA converter technique. And when you are looking at the frequency response or the time impulse, which is much more important than the frequency response, we have a digital filter built-in that has 1/4 pre-ringing and 4/5 post-ringing. So this does take into account that human ear is 4 times more sensitive of pre-ringing compared to post-ringing. So with this optimization we get nearly inaudible digital filter. So this is the reason why this DA converter sounds so homogeneous without any digital artifact.
So that's your secret sauce.
This is the secret sauce.
Very good. Now tell us about the transport.
For the transport, someone could think that it's very easy to put a digital data out, and if the digital data are the same, they sound the same, but this is absolutely not the case. We have to take very high effort to treat this digital source with the same amount of sensitivity as with analog turntables. So this we have different layers of materials glued and screwed to each other to have an absolutely non-vibrating outer chassis, and on the inside you also see we prevent any air turbulence with this curve here, and we have also a very precise stabilizer which prevents any vibration of the CD. And internally we have also this sub-chassis which is swimming on 3 spiders that are damped, so no chance that a sound pressure that hits this outer chassis will enter this sub-chassis. And this is also a key factor that this unit does not sound digital.
It's like an analog record.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it's really funny that each noise you are hearing when you're knocking such a device, you will be here later in the signal. So we have made measurements to have a pink noise on this and measure at the output that we have no correlation between the fired pink noise and the output, or we have felt down glass balls to these units and measured the vibration. So this is the reason why we have chosen several layers of different materials to suppress these resonances.
Oh, that's an engineering marvel, and very, very astute engineering and planning. A robust look, and it's so beautiful. Thank you, Jurgen.
Yeah, thank you, Peter.